Right guys, Dan Hendriksen here. We're at Torquay Golf Club. Got something slightly different for you today. We're going to be playing amateur golfer through the eyes of a pro. And what that means is that myself and Lee, who's on camera, say hi Lee.
Hi.
We're going to get out onto the golf course. I'm going to tell Lee how I would play the shots that he's going to play. We're going to play 9 holes and we're going to see what he shoots over those 9 holes. I'm not saying that it's going to work out perfectly for Lee. It's quite a windy day, as you might be able to hear through the noise. But what we're trying to do is get Lee around the golf course in the way I would be thinking around the golf course. So this is amateur golfer through the eyes of a pro. Let's get out on the golf course. Wind into slightly and off the left hand side off the first here.
Yeah.
You're going to hit driver. So I would be hitting driver down here and I want to get it as close to this green as I possibly can. Okay, driver's one of my most comfortable club in the bag. I want you to be aiming on the left edge of this tree, just there. It's going to then move naturally on the wind. So you're not trying to hit a shape or anything like that. You're just going to hit a straight ball straight at that left edge of that tree and then let the wind move it back.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
Give it a go. Okay, started it down at the tree, but it's now moving over here on the wind. Not sure if we're going to see it down through there, but it howling left on that, from left to right on that wind, didn't it?
I lost it, yeah.
Yeah, I saw it. It went down towards the 17th hole a little bit. We're a little bit right here, aren't we, off that tee? So it's interesting there on the first tee, seeing Lee sort of leap that ball out to the right-hand side off the tee there. For me, driver is absolutely the right club there. Because the wind is into and off the left, I can get it past all the trees. And like I said in what you heard earlier, is that driver for me is one of the strongest clubs in my golf bag. For Lee, it's not quite that strong in his bag, and that wind howling off the left-hand side, he just wasn't comfortable hitting that first tee shot. Right.
It's a good angle in.
Yeah, you've managed to find a good angle in. So we've got a bit of a gap there. So you've got 100 and how far?
161 playing 154.
Okay, so perfect. So the wind is not, I wouldn't say it's overly hurting us at the moment. It's more just off the left. So I'm going to be hitting 8-iron here.
Okay.
And I'm going to hit it pretty firm to get it out of that rough position there. And I'm going to just ping it over the top straight in this gap up there.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to let the wind do its thing, all right? I'm not going to be too concerned about where the ball ends up, other than just getting it on the green if I can, or around the green, okay?
Yeah.
Out of position, get yourself back into position.
No problem.
Let's go.
Straight through that gap?
Straight through that gap, no shape, just let the wind do its thing, all right? Good strike. Again, I've lost that in the sun. Not sure we're going to see that down in there.
It's front edge of the green or just short.
Is it?
Yeah.
I've zoomed in, so we might catch it up on the thing there. Decent strike?
Yeah, really good hit. Good strike.
Pretty much how you'd have played it?
I probably would have played an 8 and I played a 7.
Okay, you'd have made sure you got there a little bit longer. Okay, that's all right. I just went with 8 because it was coming out of the rough. It might just jump out of that lie a little bit, and I wanted to make sure I got the height.
See, that's why I took a 7, because I don't have height
You
issues.
don't have a height issue, no. With that second shot, for me, it was about committing to the shot, making sure that I would hit an 8-iron. I could have got 7-iron there, but ultimately I wanted to hit it hard, get it out of that thick rough, and get it as far down there. If I'd ended up in that front bunker, it wasn't quite a problem. Again, quite comfortable with my bunker play, whereas Lee was thinking more about trying to get it as far up there as he could to take that bunker out of play. Second shot in, really good recovery. I mean, you got yourself into a really good position there.
Yeah.
You struck it quite well.
Yeah, right at the middle of that one.
Brilliant.
Good
okay.
strike.
So now what I'm thinking is that you're going to get, it's a bit of a double breaker on it. Okay, so I want you to be aiming pretty much straight at the pin.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going straight at it from this position. It's slightly downhill, so I want you to sort of focus on the pace on it as well. Okay, and you're trying to sort of dribble it up, so you're trying to let it fall into the front of the cup.
Right.
Okay.
No problem. Yeah.
Moved a bit, hasn't it? Just moved early, then it's coming back a little bit at the end. Tried to come back, didn't it? It just jumped early, very early,
Yeah,
left on you.
Went left off the freeze, isn't it? Not too bad for pace though.
Good, great for pace.
Straight at it.
I would go left half.
Left half.
Left half is what we want. Left half is what we're looking for. Using the line on the ball as well, that's good. What I would do at this length. Oh, purely, that was a good part. I think pace just kept it out. I think it was trying to fall that way, but pace kept it out a little bit. Probably at that pace it was a firm and straight.
Yeah.
Bit of a shame there for Lee right at the end as well, just for him to miss that putt. I think pace just kept it out. I think he hit a really good second putt, but pace just made it lip out of the hole. A little bit less speed, I think it would have dropped him for his par. Right, 151, Lee. You've already teed your ball up. Now I would be really mindful of this tee because of this pin and those trees on the left hand side. I would be teeing up right on the edge here.
Okay.
I'd be teeing up right close to that marker there because I'm going to be using the wind here. I'm going to be starting it up the left and then letting the wind do the work.
Right.
Okay, so I tee it up on the right hand side, aiming it up the left hand side of the green. So I'm going to be aiming pretty much on the kind of, there's the pin here. I'm going to be aiming on the kind of left hand side of that trap there. So I'm flirting with those trees a little bit, but I'm going to get enough height to get it up there. So 8 iron is the club.
Flirting with that trim.
Yeah, so literally on the right edge of those trees, as those trees hang down there, that's kind of where I want the ball to kind of start, and then let the wind just move it off that left hand side. Okay. And this is a full shot with an 8 iron. Slightly heavy.
Heavy contact.
Slightly heavy there. Okay. Just to do it. You started in the right spot, you just didn't quite get the execution correct.
No.
We've just been down there and analysed the actual lie. It's laying with the grass, so it's perfectly lying. Okay, it's sat down a fraction, but nothing too major. We've got a problem with the bunker to go over. You're then coming up on top of the green, and then obviously you've got a bit of green to work with as you go up through there. So I'm looking to get you to make sure that you land probably around this area here, making sure that you take that bunker out of play completely. Okay. I'm expecting myself to make a 4 here.
Right, okay.
Because of the poor tee shot that I've just hit. I'm now saying, right, okay.
You just hit, not me.
I just hit it, yeah. playing as a pro. So the pro has just hit a poor tee shot, okay, that happens. What I'm now expecting though is I'm not going to make a double out of this.
Right.
And if I make a par, it's a bonus, okay? Because I can make up the bogey later on in the round.
Right.
60-degree wedge is what I would play here, Lee. Okay.
Right.
I'm just going
in the face, flop.
No, I'm going to play it absolutely standard. I'm not trying to hit flop shots or anything. I'm just going to hit a small little pitch shot that's going to land approximately 25, 30 yards, and then making sure I get it over this bunker. That's objective number 1, get it over the bunker. So getting a decent strike is key here, okay? Nothing too fancy. Good looking shot, straight away. Bouncing forward. I'm expecting to get it past the pin here a little bit because it's coming from a down to an up, so the descent angle is going to be a little bit like flatter, so it should roll out a little bit, but perfectly executed. Pretty straightforward shot, wouldn't you say, because obviously the grass is laying with us.
Yeah, it's just getting it out of my head. The bunker's not there, and then I'm not.
There is no
it.
bunker. It's just making sure you try and focus on the positives of where you want to land it.
Yeah, exactly.
Really good shot in here, and that's left yourself. You're not chasing par now. You're just trying to make a bogey.
Yeah.
And you move on. All right. So your expectation levels are a lot. You know, you're trying to keep them controlled, should we say?
Yeah.
Not trying to get too down on yourself and things like that. Don't try and play a super shot from a poor shot that you've just hit, is what my thought process is all the time. So for this particular putt, Lee, you've got about probably 20 foot up the hill. It's a bit of wind off the left, which you've got to take into consideration because it is gusty a bit today. So I'm going to give myself a little bit more, about an inch or so more outside of where I'm aiming.
Okay.
So I want you to be starting this about a foot outside the left edge.
With an extra inch.
Then an extra inch on top of that. All right. Again, I'm not going to be trying to chase this. All right. So this is going to be dying in the left edge of the cup is my feeling on this. All right.
Okay.
Good putt, little on the pacey side.
Yeah, it's a bit too firm.
Did you get involved there? Is that something you just tried to hit a little bit firmer?
Went for the putt, didn't I?
You just went for it. This is Lee. It's supposed to be me. Right, Lee. Okay, you're going to hit this right edge now. Okay. Got a little excited with that one, did Lee?
Bit of an adrenaline rush.
Yeah, he just got it. Unfortunately, when you get it on the wind and on the slope, it can really get going on you if you're not careful. But I do see this a lot, especially playing in pro-ams. Okay, this is where you'd see most pros sort of just cozying it up, let it fall in the front door and then move on. If they make a bogey, move on. Be positive with this one. Well done. Good save in the end. Okay, no damage really done there, but again, you can see there with that first putt, I think you just got a little bit chasey for that par.
Yeah, suddenly turned an easy 2-putt into a possible 3.
Yeah, easily done. Yeah. Easily done, especially when you've just walked off a 3-putt really on the first.
Yeah.
You don't want to start 3-putt you got to control the ship. Control the ship. Second hole there for Lee. Poor shot off the tee. Now, we all hit bad shots, that's just the way it goes, that's golf. But it's what you do after you've hit that bad shot. For me, I had already made bogey. In my mind, a bogey had already been made. It was about getting that ball back onto the green and 2-putt and move on. You could see with Lee's putt that he was chasing for that par. There's no need to chase. He can make it up on the golf course later on. He didn't need to then put himself under pressure with that second putt coming back up the hill. He hit a great putt, knocked it in and moved on, but ultimately it could have been a double bogey, which for me, I try and avoid making double bogeys. I can make up bogeys. Double bogeys are hard to make up. Longish par 4, but because it's downwind today, normally I would hit driver, but because of the wind and the fact that the ground is a little bit firm, I'm going to get you to hit 3-wood.
Right.
Okay, get it up in the air, let it ride with the wind. Wind is just straight down, so with a 3-wood I tend to hit a little bit of a draw, so I would be aiming pretty much at those bunkers in the distance and then just letting the natural shape of the shot bring it back. Okay?
Okay.
If it lands, the ideal position here is it would land in the left half of the fairway and then it would sort of trickle down to the middle of the fairway is what I'm thinking here.
Right.
Okay. So pick that spot on those bunkers in the distance and then just execute the shot. Slightly heavy, but it's got going forward. Got the shape that you wanted as well. So because of the bottleneck up there, you just played the absolute safe shot. With it in driver, you'd have actually run with our power, basically with downwind. You'd just be running into the bottleneck too much, and then you'd have to be seriously precise. Okay. Great drive, Lee.
It was just like 300-yard 3-wood.
Yeah.
I hit the ground before the.
Got it right into just into the throat of the bottleneck here, didn't you?
Yeah.
Executed it really well. But again, not going too far was the priority here for me.
It just ran, didn't it? It's
going to. Downwind,
now.
firm. We've not had much rain. Last night was a bit, but the fairways are still pretty dry out here. Right, you've got 124 yards. It's uphill, which I've taken into consideration because that's on the slope. it's downwind, okay? This pin is on the front of the green.
Right.
I am going to be looking at knocking down a wedge. So I'm going to put a wedge in my hand.
Pitching wedge.
Pitching wedge.
Right.
And I'm going to try and land it about probably about 115 to 120. Okay, but I'm trying to hit it low. So it's slightly back foot, 3/4 punch shot is kind of what I'm trying to do here. The reason why I'm doing this is I don't want it up in the wind too much.
Okay.
Okay, I don't want the wind to knock the ball out of the air. If I can get control of that ball by keeping it under the wind, I can hopefully control it when it lands a little bit.
Is it going straight or
going straight at it? Straight at it. Okay.
Back foot. Not
slightly back foot, not too far back, but just a little bit further back, about an inch or two back as centre. And then I'm just trying to 3/4 of the swing, which will take a bit of speed out, and then punch it towards that pin. Quite clean on his strike. Pretty good. We can see the ball, so I think you've pretty much landed it where I wanted you to land it. Landed it about 120 and then it stopped pretty quick.
Yeah.
So perfect. Absolutely spot on.
Yeah, I was pleased with that.
Double breaker you've got up this hill.
Amazing.
Good shot in though. You wouldn't have played it like that, would you?
No, I'd have took a 50 and let the wind take it. My 50 is 110,
yeah.
Had 120 to go. I'd have let the wind try and take that extra 10 yards and gone max chat, get height. Height is always my thing.
Do you now like that shot?
Yeah,
is that a shot that you...
It was just an easy shot, risk-free shot.
Yeah, wind didn't do anything to it, did it?
No, you're hitting a yardage and it's going that yardage,
yeah,
because the wind's not touching it.
Uphill, but it's downwind, so it's going to almost like counteract each other, so I'm playing it almost like a flat putt,
okay,
in a way. And I'm going pretty much straight at it. Because I've got a slight double breaker here, it's going to move a little bit almost off the right at the beginning and then want to sort of square itself up on the way up there.
Are we going for the birdie?
Yeah, we're not going like you're going, we're going Dan Hendriksen going. So this is going to finish 9 inches past the cup.
That much? That's 9 inches, isn't it?
Is it? Yeah, yeah. Keep telling yourself that.
Keep telling my wife that. 9 inches past the cup.
9 inches past the cup.
What about birdie?
And then in. Tee shot on the third for Lee. He would definitely have hit driver up that hole. You could see as that fairway sort of works its way in, it kind of bottlenecks in. For me, it was about making sure he kept himself just short of the bottleneck as he got up for that second shot. When Lee then moved on to his second shot, I wanted to keep that ball flight down. If you can keep a ball flight downwind, what's going to happen is with Lee's shot, if he hits it up in the air, it's a little bit of 50-50. Sometimes the ball can be knocked out of the air from the wind, which then will leave that ball short. But by taking that shot and hitting it low, keeping it out of the wind, you're going to keep a consistency on what you would normally get from that particular shot. And there you go with the birdie putt as well for Lee. When he made that birdie putt, he's just recovering from the previous hole. Like I said, there's birdies to be made out on that golf course. It's just you've got to be patient and get yourself back into position around the course to score properly. So Lee finishes up the first par at 1 over par, 2 bogeys and a birdie. Got himself back into position after that third hole. Now setting himself up, hopefully he can start to settle down a little bit as he moves on into the 4th hole, but we'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow on part 2. Remember, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up if you like what you're seeing, and as always, stay safe.